Well, I guess it's time to play Sonic Frontiers. Or pick up all my N64 games that I dropped. Okay, now that I've picked them up, we have Multi-Racing Championship, F1 World Tour Grand Prix, Mission Impossible, Yoshi Story, Automobile Lamborghini, San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing, and Extreme G. Time to make a game grab. Hello, all my CP Bears. My name is Chronically Blue, and welcome to the N64 game grab. My phone hates me. There's something really quick we're going to go ahead and cover. My phone hates me. That's just a thing that's happening. I recorded the intro a few times, and I tried to view it, and then my phone just turns off. So, it's great. But yes, first up we have 7 games going over in this game grab, which is why the video length is quite long. I've had this recorded for a bit. Multi-Racing Championship is what we're looking at. I've had this video recorded for quite a bit, and I'm just like, you know what? It's time to throw in a game grab. I suppose this is not the only game grab that you're going to be seeing this week. It might be the first one, but it won't be the last. We have quite a bit of game grabs to come up. So I'm a big fan of the racing games, just because with these games specifically, they're just really fun. It's simple. They have the time limit. The levels are very unique, and it's very easy to understand what's going on. Even if in this game specifically, it's pretty hard to control. It's not easy to control, and I will say that most of these games, if not, I want to say most of these games, almost all of them, came from, the retro game store. I almost said retro game treasure, which is not correct. Well, I might have gotten 1 or 2 games from retro game treasure. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've had one because I skipped November, but I did renew December. So I am excited in order to get the retro game treasure for December. And right now, I'm honestly just avoiding the dishes. It's the last thing I have to do. I complain about the dishes a lot, but that's just because why would I do that when I can make a game grab? But yeah, I've had this recorded for a while, and for this specific, for game grabs and what I'm going to be doing in the future, I'm just going to record all the footage of all the games on just one thing, so I don't have to worry about accidentally losing a game or anything like that. And then I just put it all together, smush it all together, and there we go. So that way we are able to keep track of all the stuff, so I don't have to lose anything. There are some split pathways here. If you are in the road, or the mud, I should say, or the dirt, it is very hard to control, which should not be surprising. It is a racing game. But it did very much remind me of... the peanut butter stuck in my throat. It did very much remind me of Cars. That's right, Chronically Blue runs on peanut butter. And many other things, such as water. And caffeine. Caffeine is more important than water. That's a joke. Still have a sip of water every hour or so in order to keep yourself hydrated. But yes, for this first one we only have 3 laps, which is pretty normal. Nothing too insane. Although we will be getting into more games other than just racing, but we do have quite a few racing games coming up. So if you enjoy racing games, awesome. If you don't, you can go ahead and skip ahead, and you can check out some of the other games that we're going to be looking at. So, I'm very glad because I was able to finish everything for this week, and it's only Tuesday, which means now I get to start working on the next game, or the next week, I should say, which is helpful for me because then I can just start having stuff be all scheduled in advance so I don't have to worry about it. And that's just one of the best things to me, is just to be like, yep, I sure have the entire month planned out. It is honestly a great feeling to be able to have so much scheduled in advance so I don't have to worry about it. Yes, that was just the main race. There are a few different vehicles that we can choose from. They have different max speeds. Some of them are 4-wheel drive. Some of them are just automatics. That would make a slight difference, potentially. I'm honestly just looking forward to literally everything. I'm looking forward to this Friday, because it's the 16th, Looking forward to Saturday, and I'm going to be hanging out with friends. Sunday, I'm going to go and see a movie. And then next Friday, that's when the official holiday weekend starts. Next Saturday, that's when I'm going to have dinner with family. And then next Sunday is Christmas Day. So, quite a lot going on here. We do have a little bit of a control stick thing here that lets us see how my control stick's doing. I don't know if it's doing great or not, but, you know, it's something. You're supposed to accelerate by holding up on the control stick, which is very weird to me. But, you know, these things, they happen. My throat still has peanut butter in it. This is going to be a wonderful 40 minutes for me.
Ready. Go!
So we are not actually going to continue this race here. We are just showing it off here for 5 seconds until I get bored and then switch to the next game, which thankfully won't take long. But I just wanted to see how the different cars would control, and then once I got stuck, I'm like, you know what? I'm alright. I'm just gonna switch to the next game. So here is something really cool. This is the pack menu. Where the controller pack is full, the games cannot be saved. So you actually get to go through and remove some of the save files from the controller pack on the N64 if it is too full. That's super cool. I've never seen this before, so I felt I was like, that's awesome. I can't wait to show this. So we're just removing Ben.exe. I'm sure that won't bother us later. I'm sure of it. Nothing horrible could possibly happen with us removing Ben.exe. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing at all. You will see the Tony Hawk Pro Skater Chronically Blue as well as the A files. And now we are playing Automobile Lamborghini. Honestly, these racing games are just so cheap. They're like $5 if that. And racing games can really be very unique. They can be either really good or just meh. But it is actually pretty good. I do enjoy these racing games. Even if it is for a quick little distraction, it's still cool to look at and show some of the many different games that are available here. I always get annoyed whenever I see how many sports games there are because it's all just the exact same thing. But I really love racing games. Despite it all also being the exact same thing. At least with racing games, there's different levels and cars that you can look at. So stuff can change. With the football, soccer, tennis, everything else, it's the exact same thing. You change the people's names, maybe an element or two, that's it. I do not have a Rumble Pack, which I'm quite fine with, because I feel like if I had a Rumble Pack, it would just shake the control out of my hands. Yeah, so we get to choose from quite a few different Lamborghini cars, and we get to drive them. And this one's alright. It is very sensitive, very herky-jerky, if you will. And this game is actually developed by Titus, as you saw the little sign there. If you do not know Titus, or if that sounds a little familiar, they also developed Superman 64. Which is something that is on the N64. That's about as much as I can say about it while being positive. Thankfully, this game controls a lot better than Superman 64, but that's safe to say for just about every single game. So this is just another racing game where we get to have fun, look at the lovely scenery. I do like the user interface here. It is very stylized. It very much looks very slick and clean. It looks like something that you would very easily see in an arcade machine. Just the rank, the lap, the time, nothing too big, nothing overcrowding, everything fitting perfectly. That's not something I could say for the previous game. Everything's kind of like blurred together. This one, it looks very nice. The controls are very fun. They are herky-jerky, as I said before, but it's nothing horrible. It's a racing game. After 5 laps, you'll get used to it. There are parts where we go into the air, and then it becomes very incredibly difficult to control, almost like your car's in air. But, you know, these things, they happen. This is where I got stuck in a little bit of a pit stop, because, of course, I did. And you know what happens if we get stuck? We tried to figure out what the reverse button is. So this is me just struggling to find out how to reverse out of here. And then I just quit. You know, like a real person, we just quit. And we try again. There are a few different things you can do. There's the beginner races and the pro or championship races, which the championship races are going to be a lot more difficult because, of course, they are. That's something just you can very easily expect. But we're gonna go ahead and try this again because we did not give it its full 5 minutes of glory. But I will say that I'm excited. There's just lots of stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to it, and you can never go wrong with game grabs. That's what I like to think, by the way, because game grab isn't even something that I thought of just like randomly. It's just legitimately what I do whenever I get a new random stack of games. I'm just like, oh, well, I'll play each of these for 5 minutes to see which one I like the best. And that's one thing that I noticed that I haven't done. I haven't even like awarded which game is like the best. Because at some points it's very easy to tell, you know? Like if you have like 5 games and 3 of them are like Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle, one of them is Super Mario 64, and the other one is Final Fantasy 7, it's gonna be pretty easy. That's all I'm saying. But thankfully we're just gonna take it nice and easy here. We don't have any horrible competition, but we are going to discover a really bad game, which I was not ready for. I'm going to say that right now, that we have a very special bad game in this game grab that I was not expecting, which that's the best part, is when you don't expect a game to be bad. You're just like, oh, this will be fine, and then you're playing like, wow, this is horrible. I can't believe I paid money for this. This would be in a dumpster. Back. Yeah, so that's the thing that I kind of wanted to bring up, is how when I'm sitting in chairs, I don't know why I'm always on edge. And I'm not sure why that is. It's just very difficult for me to actually like scoot all the way back and have my back pressed against the spine of the chair. That's just very hard for me to do. I'm just very much like leaning forward, excited, very happy to talk about whatever I'm talking about, and that's just kind of how I am. I do force myself to lean back when I'm working. I will specifically scoot my chair forward and pull my keyboard out, so that way if I start to lean forward, the keyboard hits my stomach, and I have to like lean back fully all the way again in order to help my spine not fall off. Because, you know, I only have one spine, and I only have one life. Despite how much peanut butter I like to shove in my mouth. Who doesn't like peanut butter? Aside from people that are allergic to peanuts, like, peanut butter is really good. Peanut butter cures a lot of the depression. That may just be my personal opinion, but you also can't prove it wrong. If that was fast. We are now looking at Yoshi's Story on the N64, and this is actually the first time I'm playing it. Oh, this is really adorable. It's also a little bit louder than some of the other games that we played here, but, you know, it's fine. So, I have not played Yoshi's Story before. It is available on the Nintendo Switch Online thing. We have a few different levels that we can choose from, but we're just going to start with the first one because, again, we're just doing the first level here. And at the start of the level, it shows you what the lucky fruit is, which you actually have to hit the button to stop it. And it's an apple. And we get to choose our Yoshi, so of course we're going to choose a yellow Yoshi because yellow is my favorite color. Yeah, this is actually, like, it's a pretty fine game. It's not horrible, it's not amazing, but it's alright. It's a 2.5D platformer where the graphics and such are 3D, but your movement's only 2.5D. So you don't get to do a lot, you just get to move left and right, up and down, and sometimes we get some splitting pathways where we will be able to go and choose where we go. But because this is the first level, we're just going to go ahead and show off everything because that's how we do. As well as this is Yoshi's Story, like, it's not going to be horrible. It is really adorable. I do like how it all looks, like it's paper mache, and it just looks really charming. Like, even as someone who's 22 years old, even I can still realize that this game is pretty cool. I have no idea who Gohan is, but I just assume it's someone that really enjoyed Dragon Ball. Actually, I'm starting to... like, what would it be like if they had a Dragon Ball game on the N64? I don't think I want to know that, actually. There are 4 missed warps on each course. Find them and wake them up. If other warps are awake, jump on one to warp to another. When a Yoshi is lost, you start something. Okay. Yeah, so we were able to wake them up by throwing an egg at them, and then they just start like jumping up and down. But we're just gonna go ahead and ignore them. So we have a rat here with a stop sign where Pack E won't let you by unless you give something special a try. So we can't do anything there. No matter if we go up or down, Pack E rat will stop us. So I'm like, you know what, let's just go on the warp thing, if we can land on it. It is a little hard to get everything going. And so when in doubt, you just throw your eggs in order to see what happens. And this is where I got the bright idea to like whack the sign, which didn't do anything. So I'm like, let me see what I can do here. I know Yoshi can do a ground pound, so I'm going to try to ground pound. But as you can see here, this is just exactly what it looks like when someone's playing a game for the first time. You're like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm gonna see what I can do. And I don't even... like, even games for like the GameCube where you had so many buttons, I was still very much like, oh, well let me just play it for like 5 seconds, press all the buttons, and see what everything does. So yes, we need to ground pound Packy Rat, and then we'll be able to knock it over, and then we can go the other way, which is very hard to choose which direction you're going from the regular and upwards path. It's just very weird, just saying right there. With these exclamation points, we can use our tongue on it in order to fling forward, or just jump on them, which also works. We have these little egg blocks where we can whack it with our head, and we get a bunch of eggs that we get to use as ammunition. And of course, because we have the Packy Rat here, we're just going to go ahead and slam it down, go eat the Shy Guy to get another egg, and we're just going to go right around like it's nobody's business. Now, in the original Yoshi game, specifically Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Story, there was a lot of mechanics to it. There was the life pointer, you gotta get up to 30, you gotta get all the flowers, you gotta get everything, and it was just a lot. It really was. And here, I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just doing my best here, which, you know, of course, isn't great, but... Okay, so we're just trying to get there as soon as possible to get all the bonus fruits. We also get an extra heart, which definitely helps. So now our little sunflower dude's in a super great mood. Obviously, get it like a very weird guitar riff here, but you know, it's fine. I'm sure there's a lot that goes into this game with each level and everything, but this definitely feels like, hey, you want to play a N64 game? Well, you don't know all the controls yet, so here, have this one. This game definitely feels like the baby steps to Mario 64 almost. That's the best way that I can describe it, almost. Because this is like, you know, it's super simple, but it's charming, anyone can pick it up, but it definitely feels like it was meant for a specific criteria, or a specific, you know, group of people. Me. Have a wheel almost done here. We just need to get 2 more fruits, and there they are. They're actually right there. If we could get them, Yoshi. Yes, thank you. We just need 1 more fruit so the Yoshi can grow happier. Hey look, the last fruit. And that's it. That's how we beat the level. Apparently. If you can't tell, I still have no idea what's going on. But that's all it's going to be so far. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next game once we get the totals to see how horrible we did on the first page. Yes, we get a gigantic heart. And so the adventure began. The Yoshi set out to find the super happy tree. Poochie the dog helped out. Not even elephants could stop the Yoshis. So far, so good. If they could stay happy, the tree would be saved. The page turned and the Yoshis grew happier. There was a cute little song that they sang that I talked over, but you know, these things, they happen. And so with us beating one level, the page turned, and we have a second area, the Bone Dragon Pit, which we're just gonna go ahead and not do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and switch to the next game here. And here we have San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing. San Francisco Rush is actually a arcade game that you can find in arcades nearby. Of course, you don't have all these settings available. You just pick a car, pick a racetrack, and then go. But this game is also available on Midway Arcade Classics Volume 3 for the Xbox and PS2, and I want to say GameCube. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We have specific buttons in order to shift up and shift down. If you like using the gear shift, I don't. So, you know, these things, they happen. I believe none of these music tracks are officially licensed music. They're just random songs that they made. So, you know, I'm completely fine with that. It's very much like Cruising USA, which, by the way, it's a pretty good game. Cruising USA is pretty cool. If you are able to actually go through the entire game of Cruising USA, when you go through every single racetrack and then some,
It's dangerous!
you get a very unique ending. Let's just say that. And you can see the ending in the N64 version as well.
3, 2, 1, rush!
Yeah, so here we have San Francisco Rush. It's just another racing game, but I do like the user interface here. It is very nice, even if the music is very unique. But you know what? You kind of get into it. It takes a little bit, but you know, you kind of start to vibe with it. Like, I'm not sure what is going on in the song, but you know, it feels good to vibe with it. Now, is it as great as Sonic R? Of course not, but it's still vibeable music. It feels like the music that you would put on in like a 1980s party scene, where like everyone's on something, for lack of a better term. Now, you can damage the car, and that will affect the steering of it. So I do like that they put that in, but it is very hard to kind of control where everything's going. It's, instead of it being tight, it is very loose. So you don't have that, it's not herky-jerky, but you definitely feel like you have to almost break the analog stick in order to make a turn. But you know, it's very weird, and some things just kind of keep happening. But you know, there's nothing we can do about it. And yes, I do keep intentionally pausing what I'm saying in order to let the wah-wah-wahs go. It's just so funny to me. Ah, my back. It's still hurting again. Looks like I need more peanut butter. I don't put peanut butter on my back. My peanut butter goes in my mouth. And that's it. Peanut butter is for mouth only. Nothing else. And I'm just going to go ahead and stop there, because as soon as I start to explain what I mean by that, that's when everything's going to get worse, and this video is going to become M for mature. So we're just going to stick with food belongs in mouth. So we are not doing good here. Even though we are in third place, we're still not doing fantastic, and we're still running into a bunch of stuff. Well, this is exactly what happens when I play racing games. I run into a bunch of stuff until I play it for multiple times, and even some racing games I love to no end, I still run into stuff, so it's just bound to happen. Now, due to this being the console version, if you lose a race, that's it, you gotta restart all over again. If you were playing this specifically in the arcades, you'd just be able to have the option to put more quarters in order to keep playing, which I kinda like, especially if you set the games to free play. That's the only way that I beat Cruising USA. But I grew up playing it on the N64, so I definitely had a lot of knowledge to go off of. It was really fun, though. And it was really cool to show off some of the little cheats and such that you can show off in arcade games. I do like this little tunnel that we're going through. It is pretty cool. Oh, we're on the final lap. So now things are going to start to get more intense. Can you believe what is happening here? Oh no, what is that? A deer. Yeah. 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 Oh. No. Hit the gas, you know.
Checkpoint.
I'm sorry, I'm getting way too into this music. I want this to be my background music, honestly. I just love it, but I'd be so distracted by it at the same time. Like, at the beginning of this specific game, I was like, no, I don't know how to feel about this music. And now I'm just like, yeah, I'm like that. But we got 4th place, which is good enough for me. What is gonna go ahead and move on to the next game? We just give all these racing games 1 race each in order to give it like a real attempt.
Start with a C. Start with a G. Start with a Z. Nothing.
Okay, that was very unique. But now we're going on to F1 World Grand Prix, which it is very accurate to F1 racing, but that's also kind of its downside as well. So with the F1 Grand Prix, there's like the practice race, the show-off race, then like the 13 actual races, and then the final race. And so it's unique to say the least. And so I'm very much just like, you know what, I'll just do whatever. We do get to show off some of the different races that we have from the F1 series, which I don't watch F1, but I have a friend that enjoys F1, and there's only one person, and their last name is Hamilton. So that's the only person I was looking for here, but I don't know any of these other people. I know the flags in the background, but that's about it. But I do not care about nationality, language, or anything like that. We're just going to go for whoever I feel like. And so we're just going to go with Shinji Nakano. Or Nakano. It really depends. With Japan, it is very unique because I've studied Japanese for 5 Duolingo lessons. But it is very unique. All the letters make the exact same sounds, no matter the context of the word. So it's very different from English. And they add kanji to... The kanji is the letters. And so it's very unique. I very much... It is very interesting to learn about different languages and see how it's different from the one that you currently know. There's quite a few people that I follow where they speak English as well as Malaysian. I have no idea what Malaysian is. I know it's a language, that's about it. And that's all I know. But it's still very unique, and I can't imagine how confusing it must be in order to try to learn 2 languages. It's confusing for me just to learn 1 language, and that's English. So I know that in many different places, when kids are in like elementary school, they start learning 2 languages, their language as well as English, because English is one of the global languages, which isn't fun. I can say that much. As nice as it is to have your language, your native language, be one of the most popular ones, it also is kind of annoying. I'd really like if we were in elementary school and we got to choose which language we wanted to learn alongside English. It'd be really cool. So yes, we have the Friday race, the Saturday race, the warm-up, the exhibition, and the Grand Prix. And I can't really customize anything, so we're just going to go ahead and start the race. But it'd be really cool because I'm at the point right now where I'm like, you know what, I can't focus long enough in order to learn a new language. So it's just annoying, really. It'd be really cool if I could learn a language a lot younger.
There's a yellow flag ahead.
So in this game, we just start off very slow, and we don't even get a mini-map, we get nothing. So you just really gotta follow everything and be like, oh, okay, go here, I guess. And here we have another game where it's very sensitive, so you have to do it just right. Even if you're going very fast, you could turn on a dime, which is not great. You want like a blend between sensitive and loose, so it's something that is kind of realistic, kind of not, but these are games from the 90s. You can't really do a whole lot about them. We do have a commentator talking over us, just letting us know what flag is ahead, which
50 seconds ahead.
doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know the different flags. That is some cool thing if we run into the little bumpers, the tire discs come out. But yeah, I couldn't even do one whole lap. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe this game isn't for me. Maybe I'm alright. I'm just gonna switch to the next game here. Well, we found the reverse button at least, so that took us a lot less time than the other game. Yes, we are almost done with the game grab, actually. We only have 2 more games after this. And one of them is yet another racing game, but it's a lot of fun. So here we have, I want to say it's not G-Force. Is it G-Force, actually? It's made by Acclaim, so that's already kind of promising. And does this game not even say the title of it? I guess not. So, this game is actually really fun. It's a mixture of racing with shooting and driving. So you get, and also all the cars look like Tron bikes, which earned me an extra star. It's so fast, it's so fun. You get power-ups, you jump, you just watch. If you cannot afford F-Zero, you gotta try this. This is really good. You start slow, and then you immediately start picking up speed. Look at how fast you're going. You can shoot lasers, you have bombs, there's so much you can do. It's so cool, and it's very hard to lose yourself. The camera stays exactly where the car is every single time. It takes 5 seconds to understand the controls, and then you even have a speed boost button. It's really cool, it's really fast, it's awesome. It makes me feel like I am right there in the future, having fun. And for a game that was $5, I very much got my money's worth out of it. I'm smiling right now just even talking about it, thinking about playing this game as I'm watching it. If you could not get F-Zero, because F-Zero is like one of those famous games, so it's like $50 or anything more than that, or if you don't have a Nintendo Switch with an online subscription, get this game. It is so much fun. It is so cool, it is so fast, it is just so awesome. And I know that I keep saying it's so cool, awesome, and fast. That's because this is exactly what's going through my mind right now. I'm looking at this, I'm like, whoa, I can't believe this is not sped up. It may look complicated, but it's really not. It's super easy to get a hold of. I wouldn't say it's like Frogger, but it's kinda-ish like that. I want to say it's Extreme G Racing, maybe. That might be the title of the game. It's super fun. You're gonna have a blast. Quite literally with the guns. Yeah, I said that. We have a few different power-ups that we can use here. I don't have enough time to go into them all. I'm just busy looking at this. If I could make this my wallpaper, I would. Because it's just so cool. You can even hold the laser to make it an everlasting shot. It's just the perfect game that you can just hand everyone a controller. Everyone's like, wait, what do I do? And you just say, press buttons and find out, and then you go. It's just so much fun. It really is. Granted, none of these games that I got came with a manual. Which, even if they did come with a manual, I wouldn't read it anyway. Who likes reading? And so you just get the controller, you start playing. It's so much fun, and it's so cool. And this is honestly... I was blown away. This is... quite literally the one game I'm like, I did not expect this to be this good. I was expecting it to be like all the other racing games, but this one is so cool. It has so much personality, speed, control, weapons. It's so awesome. I highly suggest you go and check this game out. It is so much fun. You are doing yourself, this is a hidden gem. And this is kind of why I love Game Grab, honestly. You get to find a bunch of games that people kind of know about, mostly don't. You play them, you get to see it and show it with everyone, and then you get to make your own opinions on it, and you get to discover stuff. This is one of those hidden gems. I'm like, this game is awesome. I love it so much. It's so cool. And it just might even be my new hyperfixation after I finish Bakugan on the PS2. Which, I'm actually contemplating playing once I finish the dishes because I like Bakugan. I got it on the PS2. I gave it to my dad, and then a few years passed, and I'm like, hey, could I have this back? I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I'm like, sweet. Yes, and look at that, $3.19, but it felt like I was in there for like more and less time at the exact same time. But that game's so much fun. Definitely go ahead and try it. But now we have the surprise bad game, Mission Impossible on the N64. Most of the games were $5. This game was $3. We do have the copyright Mission Impossible music. No one made any progress on this game, so you know that's good. We're gonna go ahead and start with the impossible difficulty because it's Mission Impossible, not Mission Possible. We have the Lundqvist space, and here we have some story here that I just don't care about. Arriving at the canal, you should land unnoticed. Clutter will take the long way to around the... using your facemaker, you should be able to take on someone's identity. Oh yes, the facemaker able to take on someone's identity, and it would help if you could find someone important. Perhaps you could find a way to get someone to run an errand for you and hitch a ride. Don't forget to take Clutter with you, as you need him to complete the mission. Oh yes, the facemaker won't work outside in this extreme cold. Ethan Hunt, Jim Phelps, John Clutter, Andrew Dowdy. Communicator. A miniature communication device that doubles as a database with info about the mission and progress. Field scanner, a small wrist-wielded scanning device, can pinpoint people. 7.65 silence, and facemaker. We have to change identity, find excuse for errand, and go. Now, if any of you have ever played 007 on the N64, you know that it is a lot more polished than this. So this game is third person, which definitely does not help this game. So out of all the games that I would like a tutorial, this is one of them because things are very confusing, even if you're just pressing buttons to see what happens. It's very hard to activate the notification to see what's going on, hard to understand what's going on. You only get one facemaker, so you have to scan them correctly. We have fists and we have gun, we can jump very awkwardly, and let's just say this is one of those games that it's cheap for a very good reason. If you like Mission Impossible, I don't think you're gonna find any enjoyment out of this. Metal Gear Solid this is not. It is just very choppy, and the only bonus is that you get to listen to the Mission Impossible music. That's about it. That's the only bonus that you're going to get out of this. And sadly, that's quite literally it. So you can try to be sneaky or do everything, but it's not gonna work. It's just I'm struggling with the submenu. That's how bad it is. So, you know, you shouldn't struggle with a submenu in a game. That's all I'm saying. Like it's like if you're struggling with the pause menu or the submenu of a game, that's saying a lot. And it's... I don't like tutorials. I prefer to just go in and get it over with and find out what everything does and die once or twice and then understand what's going on. This is the one game where I'm like, I need a tutorial. I have no idea what's going on and I don't understand this. And it wasn't even about reading either. The reading was just going over the objective of the mission, the equipment, the characters, all that stuff. That's it. So it's not like we have a lot to go off of here. But I'm just going to try to do my best. We do get noticed, so we start shooting at them, or at least trying to. But of course, with the gun selected, we use our fists. What? Hey, who are you? Hi, I'm Fred and I'm looking for my dog. A dog? Wait a second, something's wrong here. I'm going to get a guard. So we shot Fred. Change identity failed, so that's good. Here we are trying to aim, which is not going. So we just ran out of ammo and we have to find another gun. And Phelps says, abort mission, abort mission. So we're just... we're just hopping around like a bunny, and it's not going. We're not doing great here. Let's just say that. Now, when it said abort mission, I was kind of hoping the game would just stop and be like, hey, you gotta retry. Because that's what it should be. It'd be kind of lame that if you went through the entire level and then found out you failed the mission and couldn't continue. But, you know what? Let's just go ahead and leave this here. Let's just put this down. I think we've had enough Mission Impossible for one game grab. So, yes, with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time for the next game grab. Thank you for watching, Sleepy Bears.